Good morning, everybody. KT here with Wise Images Photography, and today what we are going to do is we are going to go ahead and go over a critique. We're going to go over two photographs. Now guys, these are not even the best photographs that I've ever taken, okay? They're actually taken smack dab in the middle of the day. But I'm doing that for a reason, because I want you guys to see that, you know, even in the middle of the day, without the best lighting conditions, you can take a halfway decent photo and it looked pretty good. Remember that photography and all art is pretty much subjective. So just because there are rules doesn't mean that you necessarily have to follow them. So we are going to go ahead and get into that in about 2 seconds, but I am going to let you guys know that later on I am going to give you guys a quick update and what is going on with the channel, because I want you guys to be informed and know what's going on. All right, so without further ado, let's go ahead and check this out. Look at this. This is one of my photographs that I took. I was over at the Silver River and I loved it because I was running into like all these wonderful wood ducks, and I absolutely love wood ducks. I think they're beautiful, right? What made me want to take this shot was the fact that there was 2 ducks and a turtle. So in my head, I was like going, ooh, duck, duck, goose. And then, but really it was like, ooh, duck, duck, turtle. And so I was like, yeah, let's go ahead and take this picture. Now, one of the things that made this picture, even though I think the idea of this picture was fantastic. However, I think because of the distance away from my subjects, you can see that I have my 3 subjects, you know, you have duck, duck, turtle. I'm far away from the subjects, so it's hard to kind of see them. Also, because I was shooting in the middle of the day, the light is like almost like blowing them out. It's blowing the log out. It's blowing part of the background out. You can see that part of the background is definitely in the shade. This one duck is a little bit more in the shade than the female duck and the turtle. And so you're getting like all this extra highlighting, and you're kind of getting this mixed light. And so your eyes are kind of having a hard time knowing like which way should my eyes go. So it's not like I really overly led somebody into this photograph and led them to something. So we have the highlights on the log. It's really hard to see the female duck because she almost blends in with this log in the background, because that log is a little bit darker and her body was a little bit darker. And as the sun's coming down and hitting her head is almost like kind of like tilted back a little bit. And because it's tilted back, you're getting all this shade right here on her neck, and it kind of makes her blend in with this back log. The male wood duck, because of his coloring a little bit, there is a little bit of separation here, but not much, because you have green on green. And so it made it a little bit harder to see them. The other thing is the background, even though it's blurry, it's not super blurry. So there's not much distinguishing from your subjects to your background. The one thing that this photograph does have for it is the fact that there's that rule in art where a lot of times when you have like the number of trees or the number of subjects or whatever, they usually say that odd numbers are better numbers. So you have 3 subjects here. You have duck, duck, turtle. So needless to say, that's kind of, you know, I do like the purple behind. I wish this was a little bit more. I wish that this whole patch right here would have been in the shade, kind of like this clump over here to the left. I think that would have allowed for my subjects to stand out a little bit more. I wish that I could have gotten maybe a little bit closer in on them and still put them in the middle. I still would have liked putting them in the middle, but I think getting a little bit closer would have helped, because also because of the distance that I was, you'll notice that my subjects are kind of soft as well. So it's not a very sharp photograph either. But I thought it was still cute, but it's not like an award-winning photograph. Now the next one's not an award-winning photograph either. but I think it's better. Why? Look at this background. Not even, let's forget the subjects for right now. Look at the background. The background is pretty well lit. It's not overly bright, not, you know, overexposed like the last one. In the last one, it was like it was overexposed big time. You got tons of highlights coming in on all these different leaves, because some of them, they probably still have like some water or something on them. So they're just really, you know, really showing that light there. Whereas here, you do have a couple of blown out ones, but not too many. It's not so distracting that you are like looking at the background, right? You're actually, when you look at this photograph, you know that your subjects are the ducks. Now, I said that you normally should have like odd numbers. Well, we only have 2. That's okay. That, you know, you're allowed to break the rules. So we only have 2 subjects. You can tell that I am still, once again, shooting in the middle of the day. That's why you're not getting that nice kind of even lighting. You're not getting that nice soft lighting as if you were shooting in the morning. You can tell that we're shooting in the middle of the day by the shadows. When you look at the female duck, you see how the shadow is right below her. And then over here on your turtle, notice that the shadows are going straight down. So that's how we know, because depending on where the sun is, depends on which direction the light would be coming, and that would cast your shadows. These ducks are being shot right here in the middle of the day. You can tell because look at that shadow. It's straight down up underneath their body. You can also tell that the highlight right here is on the top of their head. And so, excuse me. So you can tell that they are being photographed in the middle of the day. Now, some of the things that you can do when you are definitely photographing in the middle of the day, make sure that you're lowering your shutter speed. Not lowering your shutter, I'm sorry, lowering your ISOs. And then also you can speed up your shutter speed so that way you can offset some of the brightness and the possibility of blowing out your highlights. So those are a couple things that you can do. Also too, instead of shooting wide open, you can close up your aperture some, and that would help as well. So those are a couple things that you can do to go ahead and offset, you know, shooting smack dab in the middle of the day. Another thing that you could always do is photograph your subjects in the shade. But in this case, they were right there out in pure, right there in the middle of the sun. And you can tell that I did have a little bit of difficulties here, even on the top of this log, even though I was closer, able to get in a little bit closer. You could tell that, you know, in certain parts of the log, I still was almost having some issues with the highlights there and whatnot. So needless to say, that is it for our photographs today. I'm going to go ahead and give you guys a quick update on what's going to happen with the channel. I am going to continue to have this channel running. Guys, I think I'm just kind of decompressing from this year. It's been a little bit of a crazy year. I've kind of alluded to you guys and let you guys know that, you know, one, you guys knew about my major surgery back in May, but I also had some stuff prior to that going on. And so basically, you know, I couldn't breathe for a couple months after getting COVID. I had 4 laser surgeries, 6 procedures done on my legs, leaving me unable to walk. I basically was in and out of the hospital, not the hospital, but I was in and out of going to doctor's visits often. Like almost every single week I was at a doctor visit, whether it was for a laser surgery or procedure or my back being cut into, between MRIs and ultrasounds and being monitored, you know, on a regular basis. Also too, what else was I going to say? Oh, and then luckily everything came back. We cut out the precancerous stuff. The other stuff that was growing on me, that came back all cancer free. So all that was good. But it left me, honestly, guys, with like a whole entire year of not being mobile. A lot of times when I was able to walk and able to do stuff, I was doing stuff. And then like later on when I couldn't walk and stuff like that, I just kind of worked around it, right? All throughout while all this was going on, I was still working my full-time job, and I'm still working my full-time job now. But then on top of it, I had multiple deaths. I had, you know, I live in a very tight-knit kind of community, and we've lost three of my neighbors, and one of them was kind of like a grandmother to me. And then, you know, we lost two of the family pets as well. And then the one that, and the reason why, if you guys have noticed, I've slowed down a little bit, and I think even somebody kind of alluded like, I hope you're okay. And I think it was because it's like, wow, she's really slowed down. Like, she was real fast there for a while, and then, you know, now she's not producing as much. You know, I'm blessed because I have 4 parents. And I lost one of my moms recently, and it hasn't even been 2 months. And so that one is kind of the one that took the wind out of my sails, guys. And I just wanted you guys to know that I'm not going anywhere. I'm just slowing down a little bit because I think I'm kind of decompressing from this year. And I just wanted you guys to know. So I may be only producing like 1 video a month for right now until I kind of get through this whirlwind, right? And anyways, I just want to say thank you for you guys' continued support. You guys have been like my little cheerleaders. Not my little cheerleaders. You guys have been my cheerleaders, because when I do let you guys know what's going on, you guys keep on encouraging me, and I appreciate it. And eventually I will get back to doing like 2 videos per month. And I might actually stay on that just because I'm doing the full-time job as well. And I want to make sure that I produce really good videos for you guys, and that you guys get quality videos. So needless to say, that is what is going on with me. Thank you so much for tuning in. I want you guys to remember that you guys are awesome. Have a fantastic rest of your week, and I'll see you guys later, alligators.